Hello, everyone, and welcome to Atomic Mass Transmissions Live. It is our first day of the Marvel Crisis Protocol hashtag roster challenge. Very excited to be kicking this off with my good friend and coworker, Dallas Kemp. So if you don't know, last week we announced that we were going to be picking 5 characters from Marvel Crisis Protocol. These characters form the foundation of our new roster challenge for May. The community and the chat during that stream then helped pick one additional character, and then on Instagram, people were given the opportunity to vote for our 7th character. We now have 7 characters in our roster, but of course we need at least 3 more. Now, one of those is going to be a secret selection that both Dallas and I will make, and then will be revealed when we start playing with these rosters in June on the live stream. However, today, I believe, and then also through Instagram again, you're going to have the opportunity to vote for 2 more characters for our roster, and BK is going to be in the chat. He's going to be telling you how to do that. We definitely need some advice, some thoughts on where we're going with these rosters. Right now, I am rocking 0 leaders, 0 affiliation, so I'm very excited about this. I've made my own little story. I'm going to talk about that as well. But it's been a very fun and interesting thing to see how we're going to pull this stuff together, and both Dallas and I are approaching these as a very solidified group, so we'll talk a little bit about that too. With that said, let's go ahead and get this camera off of me and get onto the painting and see all of the cool stuff that we have going forward. Hello, Mr. Dallas Kemp.
Let's paint.
Let's paint.
I like that you pointed out that you had no leaders and no affiliation, and I have 2 leaders.
You have all the leaders, and my little ragtag bunch is a rogue group. But it's okay, because as I was assembling them, I totally came up with the whole backstory for this group. So I'm starting with Taskmaster, but you can already see I did a little conversion work. He's wearing some rocket boots.
Yeah.
And there's a reason for that, because one of the characters that got picked last week for me to do was Punisher. And so I was like, I could do another Punisher, but I really wanted to take it up a notch. So I gave my Punisher a trench coat and some new firearms as well. Some nice new sci-fi blaster weapons.
New blasters.
This is a combination of Star-Lord and then Punisher, which is why I had the rocket boots handy for Taskmaster. And I just did some green stuff and all of that, so I've got my Punisher. And then because I was doing that, that helped me come up with my story. So the current thought behind my team right now is that they're from some version of the Marvel Universe where the Earth was destroyed during a great cosmic conflict between the Shi'ar and the Kree and the Skrulls and the Spartax and the Brood, all those cosmic empires that always put Earth kind of front and center into the conflicts. And so Earth got destroyed or ravaged. Most of the heroes and villains were lost during the conflict, and the remaining folks, which are led by Gamora and Rocket, so the last remaining Guardians of the Galaxy thus far that we know of, decided to get together and effectively become the Avengers of the Galaxy. So that is my team affiliation, regardless of whether I have a real affiliation or not. These are the Avengers of the Galaxy. So they've all banded together to go out and get revenge on all of the cosmic nations that have ruined their home planet of Earth and caused them to lose friends and loved ones and all that stuff. Which I felt like with the Punisher and Rocket, I have a lot of anti-heroes in this group now. Venom. It just seemed right. It seemed natural that this would be the group that would go out and be like, what do we do now, Sarge? We go get revenge, son.
The Revengers.
That's right.
I do like in my head hearing Frank Castle say, "It's Star-Lord."
That's right. He's taken over the mantle. I don't think
he's taking over the mantle. Somebody's like, "Who are you?" And Frank is like, "It's Star-Lord."
He just stole Quill's clothes and one of his guns and is just running around now.
Look, if he can be a Herald of Galactus, he can be...
It's a very different timeline, but that is true. He gets to be everything as Cosmic Ghost Rider. A Herald of Galactus. One of Thanos' right hand, the Spirit of Vengeance. He's literally everything.
Well, if you're going to be the Cosmic Avengers, I'm going to be the Cosmic Cabal.
Oh, is that it? Is that where we're at?
Yeah, that's where I'm going.
With Doctor Strange and She-Hulk as your 2 current potential leaders.
I have Doctor Strange and She-Hulk, so I feel like my my group is like, and I got Ultron.
You
Like,
do, you do.
so I don't actually have a Cabal affiliation yet. So that's not good. I don't have a leader. So I'm not really Cabal. I'm like anti-defenders.
Anti-defenders. You're the
I don't know.
destroyers. That's what you are. You're the
Yeah,
destroyers. See,
we're the destroyers.
it's like the
I'm in.
defenders but different. I like it. I think that works.
We're the destroyers. We're like
So,
the cosmic destroyers. We've been gifted with some cosmic
uh huh, uh huh.
power to like go and like eradicate those who would stand in the way of the destruction of the universe.
It's intense. That's intense right there. So you did some pre-work with the airbrush. You did a magenta kind of side light.
Hmm.
What's the goal behind the color scheme? Because I know we're both kind of going for a more cohesive, I guess, team colors.
Yeah. So my goal here is, most of these characters, actually all these characters, anything we paint for this challenge will be characters that we've already painted.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I've I've painted everything in release so far from Marvel Crisis Protocol. So it was kind of like a chance to like go back and do something unique. I got real inspired that you were like, I'm going to do these really crazy conversions. I'm going to give Frank the trench coat of Star Lord. I'm going to give rocket boots to Taskmaster. And I was like, I think what I would like to do is like really just make a very visually unique group with some paint.
Mm-hmm.
So I got inspired by some busts by some of my favorite painters in the world, and decided to like kind of do some real heavy environmental lighting and some pretty extensive base work.
Nice. Yeah, these are all everything that my characters are mounted on right now are temporary bases. I do have a cohesive base scheme. Obviously, Frank Castle has one heck of an upgraded tactical rock because that's how I made the pose work with everything. He needed to be like overlooking the battlefield. So
Yeah, and that tactical rock is awesome. Like I love that base. When you sent me that picture, I was like, "That's yes, that's what I'm talking about
it's a
here."
true rock. Yes. Yeah, and then I had to. I mimicked it on Rocket because obviously I don't know if Groot's alive yet or not because we don't know who the rest of the characters are going to be. So I got rid of the root for Rocket and I put him on another big tactical rock for him. So it's going to be very like destroyed, rubbly, alien planet kind of stuff is my goal right now for the bases. But I haven't gotten that far yet. I
And
always
that was
do.
kind of my inspiration as well. It's like I wanted that blasted cosmic feel to the bases. So I went with a lot of rocks and jutting up in weird angles and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. Which, when we play against each other, is going to look really awesome.
It'll look pretty good. And maybe our storylines will come together to make something cohesive. We'll turn out that the Destructors were actually the team that brought about the end of Earth as we knew it. Be an epic showdown. But yeah, my color scheme. So I looked at a lot of different kind of like team style uniforms from Marvel. And the one that made the most sense was absolutely to go back to kind of that more classic Guardians of the Galaxy, the navy blue and the crimson, and just have them all be in that classic Guardians of the Galaxy color. The thing that I really liked about that run and the way that the creative team behind um, that version of the Guardians pulled all of that together is every character is still very unique, but they just all share the same color palette and kind of the same you know notes and beats on where the colors are. The navy blue is always the suit. The
Hmm.
reds are used as like kind of banding or spot colors and stuff like that. Like gloves are always red, trim's always red, that kind of stuff. So I thought that would be really fun to kind of play with on all these very different characters and still have something that looks really unified together at the end.
Yeah, and that's kind of where like I kept ending up myself, where I was like I wanted that cohesive story. I wanted to tie stuff together, and instead of just picking a costume, I was just like, I want to go with something different, right? Like costumes, great. I love costumes, but like, what if it was just a painting style as well? So that's kind of how I ended up on that heavy environmental lighting idea.
Hmm. It's certainly gonna be very atmospheric, and they look pretty sinister already. Like that
Yeah, now
ghost
I'm gonna lean
spider.
into it because I'm gonna make all their costumes black. So,
Ooh, all their costumes. What kind of black though?
very blue black to
Of
go with
course,
that
of course.
magenta.
Blue black. I'm a little surprised it's not like a. Well, you got the magenta in there, I guess. But I was half expecting maybe a purple black, or haven't seen you do a green black in quite some time.
I haven't done a green black in a while. The Farce Returns, I would call it a Hold Your Blue Black. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I just glazed I just glazed Hold Your Blue over the Zenith, and now I'm going back with a black wash.
Nice.
Plus the goal here is I need to paint 10 of these, so I might be like trying to cheat a little bit.
So using some tips and some tricks from the tool bag,
Yeah, it's
speed things up.
like I don't have to paint the full side of the magenta.
It's true. You only have to paint half your characters now. So, of course, we have 3 characters to go. Dream Wedding. Looking at your roster, who are you hoping the community chooses for you next? Like,
I
what are you
I
looking
literally got
for?
my dream choice.
Oh, did you?
I got She-Hulk.
Hmm. I didn't realize that was the dream pick.
Who would I want? I mean, for me, it's about the painting. So, who's going to look really cool painted up like this
Mm-hmm.
is kind of what I'm looking at. Um, I mean, of course, Thanos would look really sharp painted up like this.
You'll wind up with just all of the expensive characters at this point.
You look, you know how I play.
It's true. You'll paint 10 characters and use 2.
That's true, and not bat an eye at it.
It's true. That'll be perfectly fine for Dallas. Of course, you can't get infinity gems in the roster challenge, so you'll at least have to play with like 3 characters. Who did we pick? For me, chat picked Rocket and Punisher. So we got Rocket last week. He came from the chat, and then Punisher came off of the Instagram challenge. So, and then the rest of my team, I did a fun Enchantress. So I used Storm Lightning to make her look extra angry, because she's all upset because Thor's probably dead, or at least everyone thinks he's dead. So she's looking for revenge. She's very scorned and unhappy. So I felt like the lightning really added to that revenge storyline. And then I have a Medusa and a Gamora. And I didn't really do anything special conversion-wise to the Medusa or the Gamora. I thought Medusa, she's good as is. That's an amazing sculpt. And then Gamora I really just like in general, so I'll just leave that one alone as well.
Yeah, for me, yeah, that's what it is, right? It's like I just like this sculpt. That'll be cool to paint. So
That was certainly how I picked the first 5. Like you mentioned, we've painted all of these characters at least once on the stream. Sometimes we've painted 2 versions of the characters between personal and stream, and it's like, which characters do I really want to paint again? And do I think would just be fun to play with on the tabletop? Like, who do I like? So that initial 5 is definitely all the characters that I just enjoy from both the hobby and the gameplay standpoint. and I think they're neat in the comics. And if I was gonna do it, this was the way I was gonna do it. So.
Trying to think who else. I haven't really thought about who else I'd like to paint up. I mean, I got Crystal, so Lockjaw would be fun. I mean, just painting that big dog is just fun anyways.
He is the bestest of boys. Like, just thinking about the team story and everything that's going on, you know, I think a couple of extra Guardians could be neat, but I like the eclectic nature right now. I wouldn't be opposed to having a Loki on the team. I think Loki could be really fun and fit pretty narratively. He's always up to something. He's
Loki,
a trickster.
Loki's a good choice.
He's a trickster, so he definitely would be doing. He would be there, but he would have an ulterior motive, and eventually he'd be part of the big reveal at the end.
He's on my side.
You never know, right? Like, that could just be the secret choice. Get the Loki all ready to go, and then it's nope. Loki was always against us from the start. Just all machinations to further his own ends. Or it turns out he's the true hero of the story. You never know with Loki.
He turned himself into a snake because he knows you love snakes.
Oh, he knows I love snakes. I do love snakes. But it wasn't for the nice thing. It was all just a ruse to lure me in.
The first return says somebody needs Ant-Man or Wasp to have to paint 11 minis.
Ooh, there you go. Yeah, make him work for it. Make him work for it, chat. I like it.
Well, he said someone. You just throwing me under it.
I just assume someone refers to you.
Rude.
Is it rude?
It's not.
I didn't think so. I could definitely, like, I feel like a Scott Lang would certainly fit this motley crew of Earthbound, now cosmic intrepid heroes of mine. He'd be the comic relief, you know. You need somebody there to, like, screw up and bring brevity to the otherwise very serious nature of all these characters. I mean, if we're not careful, the Avengers of the Galaxy is going to become a Marvel Max comic, and I don't think I want that in my life.
Oh my!
I mean, we got Gamora, we got Venom, we have Medusa, we have Enchantress, we have Punisher, we have Taskmaster. You tell me that I'm wrong. Tell me that I'm wrong.
I mean, you're not.
Exactly. Exactly. And I don't know if I'm there. I don't know if I'm there with this team. Like, I kind of want them to still have some lighthearted adventures and, you know, have growth moments and everything. I feel like that's
then
important.
You definitely need a comic.
Yeah, we need somebody. We need a lighten the mood character here. We need somebody to come in and, you know, add that little bit of fun, that moral compass, because I think we're missing a moral compass right now.
So Ant-Man would be a good choice. Who else? Now I'm just going through all of our releases in my head.
Just thinking about what's there and what's not there. Oh, I actually messed that up. That's okay. We'll fix it. Yeah, I think Ant-Man could be fun. Who doesn't love a Lockjaw? You know, a little puppy. We wanted to get a little more serious and gritty. I could see a Crossbones. Crossbones could definitely be angry. A Zemo, certainly. Zemo. Who doesn't love Zemo these days? Such an amazing time.
Nothing says moral compass like Deadpool.
Oh, is that? That's true. He's a thinker. He's a feeler and a thinker. And certainly we all know that Deadpool would survive. No question.
No question.
No question. He wouldn't get off that easy. But see, he's a cagey one because, you know, certainly before he became always the jokester, he had his moments where he was a pretty serious and gritty character.
It's true.
You know, he cracked wise, but it wasn't like the really goofy, lovable wise. It was more of the, oh, that just makes everything you just did more awful, Deadpool. Why would you do that? Killmonger'd be good. Plus, I love that sculpt, and I really like that character. So I'd be down for some Killmonger. I don't know. I don't get a pick. Much like one Dallas Kemp, I am beholden to the whims of the masses, to the desires of the players out there.
The people, they must speak.
I know. They will get all their opportunities to just determine whatever is going to happen next. Will they be kind or cruel? We don't know. We just don't know. Did we get all that blue? I think we did. So blue is nice and washed. I can do more shading and stuff. Look at that super half and half ghost spider. There's a lot of magenta on the side of her, sir. A lot of magenta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the way it is today.
That's the way of the world. Do you want to go brown pouches or do you want to go black pouches? I think a little bit of warmth would be bad. I don't know.
Sometimes you just gotta get a little artsy.
Do you?
Yeah.
I don't understand art. I just jazzer paint. Just like, let's see what's going on here.
Hey, I'm all about paint with jazz.
That's right. For the folks in stream wondering what kind of camera we use, it's a Canon something. It's very fancy. I don't know why they trusted us with it, but they did. So
it's like, you let me put this in my car? Y'all cray.
it's true. You're nuts. This is going to be a great, it's going to be a great experience to test the paint scheme on the Mini, just doing it live. Who knows? Maybe next week we'll change it all. Actually, it's not even next week. This Thursday. Tomorrow we're back. Doing more because we got 10 characters to paint in 4 weeks. And we don't even know what all 10 they are yet. Ooh. The craziness. The craziness.
Are we voting today?
I don't know. I don't think so, because I don't think we have a BK today. I think he's still moving.
Oh, he's still moving.
Yeah, so I think next week is the big vote. So people have some time
Now's
to
the
think
time
about
to
it.
like convince people what to vote for you, though.
Is that it? See, I don't really want to. I don't want to influence anybody. I just want it to be pure. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, man, it'd be really nice to get a She-Hulk. That'd be awesome. You know, I don't get a pick, but She-Hulk. We all know what you did.
That's not how it went down.
That's 100% how it went down. We know.
That's not how it went down.
There's film.
Chat will back me up.
It's true. See, Simone is upset because she doesn't just get to make the selections for us. So she's been in every chat trying to convince them to do things that she wants. Which I believe one Mr. BK informed her was cheating. But when has that ever stopped Simone from getting her way? But now's the time, Simone. Get in there. Influence
there's no
people.
BK.
There isn't any BK. You can make all the promises.
CBS 230. I'm a beginner and never know which paints to use. Yeah, it's kind of up to you. Like you try some stuff out and see what you like. All paints have pros and cons, and there's no wrong.
Yeah, every paint line has its its positives and its negatives, and kind of like everything else, they're just all tools. Find the ones you like.
Yeah.
Honestly, if you're just starting out, find the stuff that's accessible. So if your local game store carries a hobby paint line, start there. They all have their pros and cons, but at the end of the day, if you're just starting out, grab some good stuff. I did for Mini Stravaganza, we did a Hobby 101 stream, and as part of that stream I kind of talked about for a while the 12 colors that I think are most important for new painters to have in their arsenal, which is something that Dallas and I talked a lot about before the stream. I know over the course of many years of hobbying, you're going to wind up with hundreds of paints potentially of all different colors and shades, but you don't wind up using most of those colors very often. So what we did for that, and what I kind of sat down and talked to a lot of different painters that I knew, I was like, what are the 12 colors you use the most often? The ones that run out the most, that you find yourself going to the most? Because I think those are the colors that, as a new painter, you absolutely want to be thinking about and starting with. And so that was the goal. That was part of the goal of that segment. That video is on our YouTube channel now, so you can go take a look at it. It's just Mini Stravaganza Hobby 101. A lot of other info in there too. We did it was almost 2.5 hours, I think, of talking about the hobby and what you need to get started. So that would be my suggestion, to at least listen to that list and then think about, okay, is this what I want to do? It's a very generalist kind of 12, so it assumes that you're painting a lot of varied superhero characters, or if you're looking at painting a single style, like for example I'm doing everybody in blue and red, well, that list is going to change a bit, but I think that list definitely will be some of the most useful throughout the course of your hobby career colors that you can get. And which manufacturer they come from and all of that's less important. It's more just about the color choices. And then as you grow in experience and try different things, you'll figure out which brands you like and which colors from each brand you like better, and then you'll have them all available to you to use. So, but don't get hung up on it when you're just starting. They're all good. They'll all work.
The most important thing is get in there and paint. That's the most important thing. Learn to make mistakes, because they're not mistakes, they're just little lessons.
All right, this is the benefit of having you here. I need a judgment call here, Mr. Dallas Kemp.
Add blue.
What?
I don't know.
We need to pick a pouch color. Should we do brown pouches or should we do black pouches?
On that guy, black is kind of heroic if you use the right black. But brown definitely reads like that ragtag hero.
It's true. I'm trying to find the
Like
original.
they got some leather pouches.
See now in the original Guardians colors, it looks like it's black. So I'm gonna go with black because I just checked my reference. So
There you go.
Simone wants like I don't even know what color Simone wants these
Probably
pouches to be.
chartreuse.
First of all, I'm not painting them red. I already have red.
Chartreuse is not red.
Oh, it's red, sir. You're just wrong.
Don't get me started on the monks.
We already had this argument the other day, which is why I find it to be quite hilarious to have again.
Oh gosh, I'm off camera.
Your base is on camera though. Look, we went through this whole thing at the start, and I told you, are you going to move it again? And you said, no, I won't move it. This will be where it is. And then what do? You go and move it. So
It was on accident.
this is why we have trust issues.
Okay, so I got the magenta glow. I need to punch up some highlights on the magenta glow side. But her little webbings on her arms. What
Yeah.
color should those be? Because I don't think magenta. I'm going with an all black costume here.
I mean, if you want to do your crazy like kind of tetrarchy, you'd go with like neon green, wouldn't you? Super yellow green.
It does read as evil then, doesn't it?
It definitely reads as evil with neon green, or 90s music video commercial, one of the two.
Potato in my world. I picked the wrong mounting tape for
Oh, is it falling off on you?
yeah.
Oh no! You can fix it. We believe in you.
Let's roll with it.
Just roll with it.
Right, she definitely needs some highlights on that magenta side.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, maybe like a dark green, eh?
Sure, you could do a dark green. We're gonna make this Taskmaster shield all cosmic-y metallic, so we'll break out some fun like colored metallics here. Be great. Just keep failing left and right on that. I mean, right now my Taskmaster looks straight out of, some sword and sorcery magazine. That red and that blue.
Yeah.
It's like he's ready to go on a high adventure. I like it. You thought at all about your tactic cards yet?
I have not thought about tactic cards. I have not.
You could just be a hero and take no tactic cards.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I mean, I wouldn't mind. I'd be okay with it.
No way.
No way. Not doing it.
Like, I'm not a great player, but I know better than that. Come on.
You still want them tactic cards, though?
I love tactic cards. They're like one of my favorite parts of the game.
They are super fun. They just help tell that story so much better. And have cool effects.
It's all about those stories.
Like how we have the chat going off about chartreuse now. Chartreuse. Character on the right. Dallas is painting Ghost Spider chat, and I'm painting Taskmaster.
Super ghostly spider.
Super Ghost Spider. Excuse me.
Look how
rude of
super
me.
ghostly she is.
She's very spooky. She would absolutely be able to scare people away from some abandoned, mine or whatever, until the Young Avengers showed up and unmasked her. The Young Avengers and their faithful companion Lockjaw.
I'm here for this story.
So at the end of it, she could complain she would have gotten away with it if it hadn't been for you pesky kids and you weird inhuman dog.
And then Lockjaw licks somebody.
Well, it licks her, specifically. Like, big old slobbery kiss. Because you know that Lockjaw is full of the slobbers.
Definitely on the mini.
It's true. He's so slobbery, we had to give him sculpted slobber. Because without it, it just wouldn't have been right. It just wouldn't have been right. I remember how stumped Marco was for so long about how to do the slobber so it looked right.
That stuff is tricky.
I think he spent a whole day just staring at that computer screen.
That's art.
That is art. Sometimes that is art.
So, spoiler confirmed by Chick, Miss Marvel forthcoming. I don't think that's a spoiler.
Wait, what?
I'm reading the chat. It says
I'm confused.
spoiler confirmed by Chick, Miss Marvel forthcoming. I think that's
the
not
Young
spoiler.
Avengers? I mean, I would say she's more Champions to me than Young Avengers. I don't think she was ever on the Young Avengers.
I don't think so.
Young Avengers, you had like Patriot. I mean, we needed Josh. He'd rattle them all off in like 5 seconds. But you had Patriot, Hulkling, some other folks that I can't remember now because I wasn't a huge fan of the Young Avengers. They were okay, but not really my jam. Full Young Avengers line. Woo! Well, certainly, the announcement with Aconite and everything else, the forthcoming Marvel Crisis Protocol novels. We did spoil that Ms. Marvel was coming to the game. We showed a version of her.
Prepare to be embiggened.
I think that was the tagline, yeah.
That was the tagline.
Yeah. Accurate to the miniature of her we showed. It is definitely the preparing to be embiggened one. For sure.
As someone new to chat, what is Atomic Mass Games in a nutshell? Do you guys make the minis from scratch? Atomic Mass Games is a fun, action-packed game company that makes energetic and highly kinetic miniature games.
Oh my goodness. I like how we're an action-packed studio, because now it makes me think that we're all doing like running Gunkata leaps and stuff to get to our deaths. You can't end a meeting without a deadly shootout that results in a lot of property damage but no actual injury.
Those are the best.
When Simone enters the meeting, an explosion happens somewhere behind her, so that she can coolly walk in. Mm-hmm.
I told you guys the marketing meeting was at 2. Bump.
My goodness. My goodness. I like how you mentioned at the start of the stream, I'm going to use some cheats and go faster. Because I got a lot of characters to paint. And now I'm sitting here two-brush blending this red for the last 15 minutes. Just like, oh, I'm just having fun. I'm just happy to be here.
I'm happy to be having fun, but I just know I got 10 characters to paint.
I'm just happy to be here, that's all. Let's do a little highlighting on this blue. Oh gosh, that was way more blue in the palette than I wanted, but that's okay. Oops-a-doodle, as they say.
Oopsie doodles.
Better than poopsie-doodle. Alright.
Cyber and Sandy, Dallas, where do I find that base material at? This is a 2-part epoxy I mushed down onto my base. This is just a regular standard Marvel Crisis Protocol base. Schick's Custom Bases uses them as well. So I use a 2-part epoxy. Ooh, that was dramatic. It was a pretty heavy white dry brush. And then I use pine bark and some delicate slate that I harvested from the ground. I can't tell where.
I like how it was a question mark. Like, it probably was from the ground.
It was from the ground.
Unless you stole it from, like, old Miss McGee's garden.
I mean, that's what I don't want Miss McGee knowing about. Was the garden's theft. So it's like some slate, it's some big rocks, it's some wood chips, and then after all that is put on there, I let that cure, and then I cover it in PVA, and then I use a pumice, and then I cover it in some little rocks. More like it's literally like a 12-step process to make these bases.
But yet you enjoy every minute of it.
I do. I might have to do like a tutorial on them.
I mean, at this point, I don't think you have a choice because that recipe list was intense and not very illuminating.
It wasn't. I like, whenever I'm out and about, I always keep an eye out for basing materials. I've actually had friends from other places like send me basing materials. They're like, I was on a walk and I found these little flowers, so I packed them up and I sent them to you. And it's like, oh my gosh, these are like great. And so I've used them for like different projects and stuff. Like you just never know when you see like little rocks. I've taken dirt off of a door stoop and like baked it in an oven to get rid of all the bacteria and use that for basing materials. Pine bark from just a regular like do-it-yourself center. You just gotta bake it.
You gotta cook it first.
Yeah, you want to get rid of like any little, bacteria or microbes that might be living and chilling on them.
But what if you don't, and then 3 months later, little baby crabs start crawling out of your miniature bases?
I mean, first off,
some beach sand.
That is straight nightmare. That's
rude. Those baby crabs are cute.
No.
Yes.
If you're measuring your range 3 builder, and you reach down to like move Spider-Man, and all of a sudden a bunch of little baby crabs start bursting out of the base, that is nightmare.
I like it. I'd be all for that. It would just make the game more real, more exciting. You'd be like, oh no, the mutations happened. He's Crab Man now.
This headcanon is terrifying.
It usually is, to be honest. There are no rules in the headcanon. The scientists in my head never ask if they should. They only ask if they could.
They only ask, why have we not done this before?
Exactly. It's 100% a how do we do it, not should we do it? Let's analyze. No, we don't play that way.
I'm all for this, actually, like philosophy toward thing. Like, why not do it?
If somebody didn't want you to do it, they wouldn't have made it possible. You see? You see? It's a good thing I never went to geneticist school. There'd be all kinds of messed up things. This is a bad philosophy. Don't follow it, kids.
The island of Dr. Shikamaru.
Shikaru?
Shikaru? Shikaru. Spooky glowy eyes, Gwen.
She's looking very Gwenum right now, to be honest.
She does have a bit of a Gwenum vibe.
There's the conversion you should have made. It's not too late. Just give her that Gwenum hood, big old tongue.
Just start all over, Dallas.
Yeah. It's not the first time I would have told you to do that.
That's true. Sometimes you just gotta start over.
Sometimes. Sometimes there's no choice. Ugh, I just want to get these little scritchy lines done on the blue and then... These little dot highlights here. There we go. I gotta do the shield and its cool metallics and stuff. Oh, there's so much to do. That's right, I started with one of the more complex ones today. We'll fly through Rocket and Medusa. Use a little airbrushing on her hair. Great.
Yeah, definitely airbrush Medusa's hair if you have an airbrush, I think. That getting that base coat down and like blocking in some preliminary volume really helps with that character miniature.
Yeah, it just moves things along. I did the I painted her on stream using just the brush. It's certainly doable.
Oh yeah.
And there are definitely some tricks that you can do with it, but yeah, if you have the ability to kind of speed things up, especially when you have a large project on your plate like we do, any of those little helpful tools and aids will have a huge impact. I'm going to look at my cool color options. Oh, so many pink reds. Got my alchemy colors here. Oh, so many colored metallics. See what we can do in the 10 minutes we have left. Might have finished Tasky's left boot. I don't know what's not done with it. I'm confused. He's got his little rocket, but I think I got the boot. Am I gonna highlight the boot? Absolutely not. The inside heel. My gosh.
That sounds nitpicky.
This is task mastery right here. This is cracking the whip. I will do the inside heel because apparently it's been seen. But no, I probably wasn't because I didn't see it. And who else would? There, I think we got it. Oh. The camera's too high def. All of the mistakes show up. This is not great. Okay. I think we're going to use this cobalt blue. Why not? Let's start here and see how we're feeling. Well, I could grab some purple alchemy. Purple metallic could be cool. We'll play with this. I used this color on one of the Star Lords I did, like way back when. And it turned out pretty neat. So, make some cool stuff here. Make him look spacey. He reforged his Neo Frisbee shield out of space age materials.
Alright, I think I'm calling Ghost Spider done.
Really? She's done? That's it?
Yeah.
Look at that. You're off to the races here. So quick.
Oh, chat, what do you think?
Wow, that didn't feel very genuine.
I think it accomplishes what I set out to do.
She looks very evil. I would not want to come across her in a dark alley.
She's here to help.
I don't think so. It doesn't feel like it. It doesn't feel like it. Do that. Do these little things. At least gonna block out these metallics, but I am not gonna finish like you did. It's not happening. But that's okay. That's why we have our dedicated hobby times. Maybe we'll finish tomorrow. Maybe we'll start something new tomorrow. Who knows? Alright. Yeah, I'm liking that. I think that's coming in really nice. Now I see what they were talking about.
Oh,
Chat. I mean, I didn't actually do the inside of the scabbard either, but I don't think I care about that too much. There. Now we're good. Or at least as good as we're going to get without painting this fella in sub-assembly. But again, no one's going to see that, so it's alright. The only thing that I did that I wish I hadn't was I should have done the blue-black, what is it? Dark coal color from Vallejo on the inside of the hood. But I think we can maybe fix it. Because it should be darker in there. There's not that light.
it's true, Hurricane Girl. Eventually he'll see that's there and it'll drive him insane.
Nope.
It's not true. You're not like that at all. Neither am I. I'm like, yeah, I missed that. Cool.
I mean, I might go back and fix it depending on what it is. But a lot of the times it's just like,
Nope.
if I get to the point where I call the miniature done and then later on I see something that's wrong, I'm like, oh, I need to fix that. And then I never do because I'm always engaged with somebody else. Like, I need to fix that. I'll do that after my 5,000 other projects.
Plenty of other things to paint.
See, but you never see those little spots. That's the beauty of it. If you just, don't worry about it, it's fine. And grab some black ink and do these belts. And then, oh my gosh, 5 minutes left. 5 minutes left. Let's get it done.
5 minutes left. I'm starting on Captain Marvel.
Well, la-di-da for you, sir. La-di-da for you.
Let's do this.
Let's do this. Indeed. Rocking and rolling. All right. See how far I get on these belts. This makes me think of our stream from yesterday with one Michael Plummer, who talked a lot about how all of his wins when painting miniatures comes to painting their belts.
Just belts give him all the wins?
It was an oddly specific thing to pick out, but we did talk a lot about his painting of belts and how satisfying he finds painting belts to be. And I'll be honest, I don't share that sentiment. I don't know that I dislike painting belts, but it's not the part that I look forward to the most.
It's not the big win for you?
No. My big win is putting that final color on the mini, the color called Finished.
Yeah. Favorite color's done.
That's right.
And not DUN before chat gets in there for that one.
Done.
Because there's a color called done, DUN.
I was unaware of this color.
It's a brown.
Is it also red like chartreuse?
Oh my gosh. Just the worst.
I know.
The monks, Schick. Think of the monks.
I don't think of the monks because I don't even know what that means. So. Plus, I don't really know that they'd care that I would call chartreuse a red. Yes, Tasky. Yes. Your belts are done.
I don't know who the chat master is today, but they're doing belt puns.
Oh dear. Seems rough. Rough. Alright. Well, I have 2 minutes left. I'm going to call this Taskmaster done for today. I'll do some more work on the metallics, and maybe I'll do it tomorrow. But can't let Dallas get too far ahead. He'll finish this Captain Marvel if we let him go too far.
Rude.
I know. It's the worst. And chat, well, thank you for joining us. We look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow at 1 p.m. Pacific, as Dallas and I will continue our May Marvel Crisis Protocol roster challenge. And of course, watch social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and of course the streams as well, as we talk about how you can get involved and help pick the rest of our characters, the next 2 slots for our rosters that we will be painting over the course of May. And as always, you can join us on Fridays at 1 p.m. Pacific, where John Schaefer will be painting some cool stuff, along with one Dallas Kemp, as our month of May is filled with a lot of really cool staff painting hangouts, challenges, whatever you want to call them. We're ready to go. So check that out as well. And of course, we'll be back next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday at 1 p.m. Pacific. We'll be returning to our normally scheduled program with Marvel Crisis Protocol painting coming back on Tuesday at 1 p.m. Pacific as well. So much painting, so much excitement. Thank you all for joining us. Be sure to be safe, have fun, continue to hobby on, and be good to each other. We will see you on the next one. Goodbye.
It's like a mini extravaganza. Everybody should be hanging out.
Super mini.